Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining us here on What's Brewing with Jim and Gigi. Another chilly day, cold morning to start us off here. Walked out the door, wasn't feeling, I woke up certainly walking out the door this morning because of the chill.
We're sub-freezing.
Yeah,
it's in the 20s outside. If you're looking for a nugget of good news, it's not as windy as yesterday morning. The winds will stay half what they were yesterday. That's my good news for the day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the sun's not going to warm us much. Yesterday we hit 42, I think 47 later today. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about warmer days ahead and also wetter days ahead before we get to the weekend. In fact, starting to look like we might get a decent shot of rain, and that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I hate to see the drought building the way it is as we close in on planting season and growing season kicks in. It's nice to start off on a good note as far as the water supply. So hopefully we can get a few more wet systems in here.
Yeah, hopefully everything, because the last update we saw some extreme drought conditions in certain areas.
Edgecombe County, Nash County, I think part of that got into Bertie County. And you're getting into, significant drought status when you start talking about severe to extreme. We don't want that to expand everywhere. And again, we had some rain a few days ago. We'll get some more rain here coming in late week. We ended up with about an inch that last event. I think another inch coming.
Okay.
We can keep doing an inch of rain here and there. We'll nick away at the drought.
All right, awesome. Well, before we talk about the rest of the forecast today, we do have a story out of Greenville. Yesterday, during last night's city council meeting, the Greenville Police Department released its annual crime report, their police report, just talking about overall crime and how it looked in regards to the whole 2025 year, and just made some comparisons to previous years past based on violent crime, shootings, traffic accidents, and other crime-related activities. So we're going to take a look at the statistics here and what they saw.
Statistical review from the Greenville Police Department is reporting that overall crime has decreased by 12% compared to the year prior, with property crimes down by 13% and violent crimes remaining relatively stable. Police Chief Richard Tyndall says gun violence is one issue they're still working to address, with officers responding to 491 calls about gunfire in the last year alone.
Our biggest focus is going to continue to be gun violence. We're going to make sure that we're focusing on violent crimes and making sure that we are taking illegal guns off the streets.
Tyndall says the police department was able to seize over 800 illegally possessed guns last year, crediting the work of its department in making that possible. In terms of traffic, the police department reported a 52% increase in traffic stops in 2025. Reportable crashes were at their highest in 2025 as compared to years prior. Tyndall says with pedestrian injuries continuing to be a safety concern across the city, especially on 10th Street, the department is also working to address that issue.
Yeah, so we consistently hear from our community that traffic safety is one of their biggest concerns. And what we've done is make sure that we are focusing our efforts in areas where we know that crashes are prevalent, make sure that we're addressing pedestrian safety, and just making sure that the officers are in the places that they need to be to have the biggest impact.
Mayor P.J. Connolly says the city will continue to make progress in keeping everyone safe.
There's a lot of people that are there on a daily basis. We have a lot of people that are crossing the road on a regular basis. And so we want to make sure that we have safe modes of transportation for not only the pedestrians, but also the vehicles. I think we've made some changes with the reduction in the speed over on 10th Street. I think that some of the new crosswalks that we have, and then we're also doing a study for, potentially a pedestrian bridge to be able to cross over the road as well. So I think those will be big things that will be able to help us and probably reduce some of the crashes that are taking place over there.
In terms of gun violence, he says he's hopeful the community will not resort to violence and that the police department will continue working with the public in addressing that issue.
All right, so it does look like their main concern here is about, safety regarding, roadways, traffic accidents, people, pedestrian safety, everything of that nature. I know we've talked about a lot of stories here at WITN over the past year of just a lot of close calls, people who actually were hit by cars, a lot of traffic accidents, especially right around ECU. Just 10th Street is a very,
very
busy place.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think one of the things, it would be interesting to see, from my perspective, the difference between now and 10 years ago, how many accidents they attribute to distracted driving.
Yeah.
Texting and driving, looking at your phone and driving, or anything related to the phone, because it's such a big change.
Right.
Everybody is watching the phone, not only when they're at home or in class or wherever, but in the car.
Yeah.
And I've seen it so many times. I've seen it with my relatives, picking up the phone, checking a message or something like that while driving. And then you're like, oh, just look up, please look up, check the road once. I think those numbers are probably pretty huge. I don't know for certain, but I'd love to know what they are.
It would be very interesting
Yeah.
to see. And it also goes both ways with, it's so accessible now having these phones, and a lot of people are glued in on whatever they have on their phones, even in like when crossing the street or not really
That's a
paying
good point.
attention.
Yeah, you're right. Not just those in the cars, but those, walking the roadways, always looking at the phone. It's amazing. That thing is glued in, There's
You
always
can get
something
really
to check.
distracted,
Yes, and everybody does. So
Yeah.
it's a different kind of deal than it was 10 years ago,
Right.
no doubt.
All right, well, let's talk weather now.
Yeah. Weather is very interesting in regards to this big monster blizzard, which has now cleared the Northeast. That's done. But some areas setting all-time snow records. The state of Rhode Island clocked out with some areas exceeding 3 feet of snow. The capital city, Providence, Rhode Island, 36 inches of snow on the ground. Wow. I mean, that's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
That's 3 feet of snow. That's not drifts. That's accumulated snow. Extreme eastern Mass, south of Boston, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Long Island, New York City. They had 20 inches of snow in Central Park. So our big historic storm missed all of them. Now this one missed us without all that.
Happy with that.
Now the East Coast is covered from South Carolina all the way to Maine this winter. But let's talk about what's outside right now. I'm rambling on this. I just love talking about these historical type storms, though. 29 Washington, blue skies headed out the door. And again, cold numbers. That 29 feels like 24. There's not a lot of wind, but there's enough to shave 5 degrees off the air temp, or 10 degrees if you live on the coast. 31 feels like 21. Moorhead City, Sanitary Restaurant cam, Neuse River cam, gorgeous sunrise shot for you, 28. Looking out over the Neuse River, feels like 23. Similar numbers in Chinquapin, Esmeralda, generally about 29. Feels probably like 22 out there in Duplin County this morning. Headlines for the day today: sunny and cold, high about 5 degrees above yesterday's 42, 47. So there's a little victory there. I think the bigger victory is the winds, half of yesterday's winds. Yesterday I had 15 to 30 on there. We'll cut that to a 7 to 15 today. And once we get out of this chill today, we'll be in a pretty good place starting tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow morning will still be a little chilly, but we'll quickly climb out of that. All righty. Satellite radar composite. I just looped that quickly over the last 6 hours. Some clouds yesterday evening, they're gone. Generally staying clear all day. There's all your air temps. Few areas at freezing, but most of us below. A lot of 20s on the map right now. Right on the water, Hatteras, Manio, Rodanthe, Wave, Salvo, Buxton, Frisco, Avon, around 33, 34. There's probably a little frost on a few windshields inland. Enough wind, it won't be too widespread though. That wind at about 5 to 10, maybe 15 on the coast. Wind chill value, Double Deuce, Williamston, Roanoke Rapids, 21, Kinston, Rocky Mount, Beaufort, 19, Elizabeth City. I had a 19 down there in Moorhead City, Beaufort, just a bit ago. It's about 22, 23, feels like. And again, we'll work our way towards 50, but not quite get there. Close, but no cigar. The wind chills lag by about 3 or 4 degrees this afternoon. Again, not the gap I had yesterday on that wind chill with less wind. Watch what happens to the wind tonight, tomorrow. There's later today, west. Starts northwest, turns westerly. And then there's that southerly component we love in the wintertime. That south-southwest wind later tonight and tomorrow will start bringing the numbers up after midnight with a cloud deck as well, helping that. So instead of getting colder late tonight, we end up climbing from midnight to sunrise and continuing tomorrow. That wind southwest at 15, gusting 25 tomorrow. A nice jump on the thermometer. Mercury hits about a 47 today. We should run 10 to 15 degrees warmer tomorrow, at least that's what I'm forecasting. Up near 60, seasonable, typical, normal. average degrees. Quick look at the big map. The cold not hanging in there, kicking out of here. It's quiet up in New England as they dig out from the 2 to 3 feet of snow. They got another little snowstorm coming in. That won't be nearly as strong, but nevertheless, more snow tomorrow. Some of those areas that saw that 2 feet of snow, maybe another few inches. Our rain coming from that next storm out west. See that rain back to the west? Let's track that. Thursday morning, rain starts to arrive here. Frontal boundary kind of stalls over us or hangs out, so the rain fills in. On and off showers Thursday morning, Thursday midday, Thursday afternoon, Thursday night. Friday morning still wet. Friday midday still wet. In fact, the model's kind of hanging that rain all the way in through late afternoon Friday. I think it may kick out before that. If it doesn't, don't worry. It will be gone. Famous last words. It will be gone for the weekend as long as my forecast holds. You probably look and say, boy, that rain's close though, isn't it? Most of the data says that rain stays offshore over the weekend, so we should be fine. 8-day forecast, 47 sunny degrees today, 60 cloudy degrees tomorrow. I'll take the swap, the clouds for the 60. And then Thursday, Friday, in and out of the rain. Should see an inch of rain. As the data gets a little more refined, we'll get a little more specific on rain totals. I didn't put thunderstorms in there, maybe a stray rumble, but we should be okay. No wintry weather, no severe weather. And then make your weekend plans. Low 60s to mid 60s, Saturday, Sunday, down to around 40 degrees Saturday night. When we go back to work next week, some cooler air filtering in, some low 50s there. Clouds with a stray, there's a little clipper system maybe north of us that may bring a stray raindrop. But right now, that system looks weak. Wouldn't bother me if it gets a little stronger as new data comes in. Maybe we can get another rain shot early next week.
Yeah, this is something that we need, like you said earlier, extreme drought conditions in certain areas, and the growing season's coming up pretty soon, so we want to be in good shape for that. So as much rain as we can get without the possibility of severe weather is welcome.
Yeah, and the probability of wintry weather really starts going down exponentially fast now, which isn't to say we couldn't, we may not still get a little wintry weather. Once in a blue moon, we get something in early March. And the way this winter has gone, I wouldn't rule anything out. But every day that clicks off without any wintry weather, it's an exponential drop in the probability of it happening.
Okay, yeah. Yes. All right. Well, sounds good. Today is just another cold day out there. No rain chances. Thursday is, the day to lock in for all the
sunrise
rain out
Thursday
there.
through sunset Friday.
Okay.
So it's 2 full days. Sunrise Thursday to sunset Friday. And we get a little closer tomorrow, I'll tighten that window up and maybe shift it one way or another. But right now I want you to kind of think about that. Sun comes up Thursday. We're in that rain until the sun sets on Friday. Again, that's good timing for the weekend. Should be fine. And hopefully our rain gauge hits a 1 inch plus by the time it's all done. Okay, great. Well, thank you for all the updates, Jim. Yep. And thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. We've got a few people over in our comments. We said hello to Esmeralda this morning from Chinquapin. Good morning to George. Hope you stay warm as well. It is quite chilly out there. And Quincella, thanks so much for tuning in from Rocky Mount. We're going to be back again at 8 a.m. for another news and weather update, so hope you can join us then. Have a great day.